the defense was able to bring out was, you know, he always smelled the body odor.
Exactly.
He just wasn't a very
brilliant.
sort of clean guy, or he had those issues or whatever. And when, you know, the pants, he wanted to change his pants. Yeah, that sounds terrible when you first say it, but they asked him, they said, was anything wrong with the pants he had on? And he said, no, I didn't notice anything wrong with the pants he had on. So again, we're talking about these little bits of information that cut against the state's theory.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think what we're looking at here is a very basic analysis by the prosecution. So I remember when we were being trained for being public defenders 16, 17 years ago, I remember a course being set up by an investigator, and he grabbed a piece of paper, a blank piece of paper, and drew every inflection point in the path of the suspect. And he led him back to the scene of the crime in order to show, hey, at every stage of the way, you have to show where this person was and why they tied to the crime and why they tied to the scene of the crime. And obviously that's what the prosecution is doing here. They're tying him back, and they're saying, hey, this happened earlier. We're charging him with falsifying evidence. He went to Lowe's. He bought a bunch of things that could potentially help them do it. And so they're tying him back physically to the scene of the crime. And to your point, Michael, yeah, I mean, that testimony by Josh about the BO, and I mean, that, in my opinion, is all helpful to the defense. But if the payload that the prosecution is going to give us at the end is, we have pretty much every piece of evidence you could have to show him directly in the scene of the crime. We've already established that he had the motive to do it. He knew that these girls were going to testify against him. He had the mental capacity of a person who would do this. He said he was having dark thoughts. He was on medication. We've done everything we possibly can to show you that there's no other person that physically could have done this. I could see this going in a good direction for the prosecution, because at the end of the day, you only have to try the facts that you're given. So the prosecution are not I'm sure they wish they had better forensic evidence and fingernail evidence. They don't have that. So I'm sure that what they're doing here is the best they possibly can, and they must have had a reason to press these charges. So this is kind of like showing me why they were so convinced that this is the proper person to press these charges against.
And you know what, I just wonder, Michael, if there's going to be a question for the jury that says, can we see that video blown up so we can see what's in the cart? Like,